What's good? Today I want to speak about four things that I learned having started an administration company. So, back in 2020, I say it like it was such a long time ago, it was last year. We started a company by the name of Clarity Music Solutions. Basically, what we saw was that people were not getting registered. This is something that I've been dealing with since 2014 when I started my blog. Saw that a lot of people were not getting registered with the correct companies, the correct CMOs, the correct collecting organizations, and moreover, they didn't understand what any of them were supposed to do. There were people who were like, I want to be a part of RISA, but not a part of SAMRO, or I'm a part of SAMRO, therefore I don't need DistroKid, or vice versa. I've got DistroKid and I don't need SAMRO. It was a headache. So I was like, why not just do it for people? Just finish the admin task for them and get paid for doing it, and we go about our way. So I got into the business with a good buddy of mine by the name of Deliza. He goes by Deliza the MD. He's a rapper, and he also got his registrations and that done quite early. He had his struggles, I had my struggles. We've discussed our struggles, and we're like, shoot, why don't we just do it for people? Cool. So the first thing that we did was and this isn't one of the four things, but the first thing we did was we just needed to make sure that this company was legitimate. So once we made sure that we were actually able to be the intermediary, or the company that would be talking to those companies, we just needed to phone them. And once we phoned them, we made sure everything was cool. That's when we started the building process, right? And yeah, so I'll start with the four things. I've got my pad next to me, so I'm just going to be referring to it. Just going to keep it raw, and I'll just talk on the different points. So the first point is that these companies take forever, right? We realize that with SAMRO, well, SAMRO's our biggest one. They do take a while. Their administrative processes are very slow. We find that RISA is quick. It's almost instant. It's slowed down a little bit since now we have to pay for our ISRC codes, but they are still quite fast. Capasso is quite quick. And Sempra, they're fairly decent in terms of time. The one thing we did realize from all these companies is that they rarely give you a confirmation to say, sharp, you are now a member. Actually, I think Reese is the only one that does that. You are now a member, you now have your codes, or you now have whatever it is, you can now continue on your music journey. With SAMRO, personally, I never received a letter saying congratulations. Even with our clients now, we've just passed the 50 mark. With our clients now, we have no indication for some people. We figure that now that they can access their portal, now that there's a SAMRO number available to them, a relation number, that they are members. But a couple of weeks ago, we got a email from a couple of our artists. Well, from SAMRO about a couple of our artists saying they're registered. We're like, okay, cool. But now what about the rest? Anyway, they take forever, right? The second thing is this admin work it's not difficult. Like I always tell people, before you come to a company like us, because there's a lot of us out there that are willing to do this stuff for people, willing to take your admin off of your plate so that you can keep on focusing on the music. But as far as possible, at least try and do some of the registration yourself. If you find that one, this admin things, you're just not about it at all, or two, you've tried it and you've failed in some shape or form, then you call it a day. Coming to a company like ours, you're going to be paying an admin fee. I know I'm killing business when I say that, but I would prefer for people to be in a situation where they've learned how all of these companies work, knowing how SAMRO works, knowing how Capasso works, knowing RISA, knowing Sampra, and being able to go and find alternatives if you don't want to use those companies. If you want to get your ISRC codes from DistroKid, or if you want to go and use a PRO from a different company like BMI, ASCAP, or wherever it might be. But for you to know that there's those alternatives that exist, you have to at least have tried to get registered yourself. You have to work in a team. This is a big one. Being in a company like that showed me that quite quickly things can become difficult. They can become overwhelming. So with the beat making and all the stuff that I do here, I was always able to control it because the climb was very steady. I moved from 0 clients to 1 client to 5 clients to 10. It was a very, very steady climb. Whereas with CMS, because we started out as 2 people, the climb was a lot faster. We found ourselves in a situation where we kind of we were building the business, but at the same time we were dealing with clients live at the same time. So we were fumbling here and there. But had I not been in a team, there wouldn't have been any forward movement without me being there. And for solopreneurs, this is one of the biggest downfalls of being someone who's functioning as a very, very vital cog within your own business. If you're not there, nothing happens. Like nothing happens. If I'm not here today, SB doesn't make beats, meaning SB doesn't make money, meaning we don't move forward. So being in a team has been a great revelation for me. It's also helped me in terms of being able to delegate tasks. Delegation is like, it's a godsend. I don't know why it took me so long to be okay with it. I've probably got my own personal trust, issues that I needed to get through. But once I was able to test out delegation through CMS, I was like, this isn't so bad. So I actually went back, and in the process of building this studio space, developed a team to say, people will come through and assist with engineering, will come through and assist with the making of beats, and there's a team that exists there as well. So now I've got 2 teams, and the beauty of a team is that there's times where I can say, we need to get A, B, C, D done. I will handle D and I'll handle B. A and C are handled by someone else and they cover it, right? So I'm not completely out of the business, but the fact that even when I'm sitting like this, something is still happening. Like I know right now as I sit here, someone's working on CMS stuff, something is going on. I've got someone who's working on beats as well, so we can upload them onto the beat store. So that thing was clutch for me. It was a clutch understanding. Then the last point was formalizing structures. This is something that it's been even more recent that I've had to realize that I've had to do. Formalizing structures has been another thing that it's helped me, but it's helped other people. So as an example, in CMS, as we built up things in Clarity Music, right? As we started having a database of people's information, as we started having certain people that would contact at the companies, as all of these things came into place, I knew how it worked, or Deliza knew how it worked. And that's all well and good, but the moment we want to bring new people into the team, we have to teach them, right? We kind of have to impart whatever it is that we know to them. And it was so funny to watch me try and explain it in a meeting. Something simple as, how does the registration process happen? Very, very simple question. And in my mind, I think of the process right now. I know exactly how the process goes. But me articulating it and me being able to say, here's a repeatable process for you, here, go and do it, it didn't exist. No one knew what was supposed to happen. And because of that, we had gaps in communication, because I'd be doing some stuff, I'd shift it on to one of the people working for the company, or I'd shift it on to Deliza, and there'd be a gap in information, which can cost us days, which can cost us clients, which can, it's not great for the business. So in realizing that, I've had to take a step back and go and look at processes within the business to say, we've got a business, these are the different things that we need to get done, and this is how they're going to get done. That way, should someone come in and slot into the business, which we've done recently, we've brought in someone else, that once they step into the business, that they aren't fumbling, and that there is a document or some kind of evidence there in front of them to say, okay, so that's supposed to happen next. And at least from there, they're able to ask the relevant questions, and we don't miss people through the cracks. So those are the 4 points. I almost think, like, had I probably done some kind of formalized education, the stuff was probably would have been taught to me. But having experienced it in this way has really, really solidified the lessons for me. Can I call it I don't even know if I can call it anywhere near an MBA, on the go sort of MBA. But I honestly do feel like these are things that everybody needs to know. I wish I had known them before, but I'm glad that I know them now, so that when we come to a place where we need to scale up and scale up quickly, the core fundamentals are being put in place just because of these 4 points. If you have any more points that you'd like to add, please let me know. If there's anything clutch that you figured out from your business, please let me know so that I can also learn faster. We can help one another and we can keep the conversation going.